Today we're expecting highs of around -2 with the wind chill. It's currently about -4, -3. Quick shout and thanks to my 76 for the free hat this week. Very welcome gift through the letterbox and essential this time of year. So my walk today starts in the village of Uphill in the southwest corner of Weston-super-Mare. I have driven to get this far. It was only a 5-mile drive at most to get there, so it's still permitted. I basically joined the West Mendip Way, heading towards Bleden. Climbed up past the ruins of St. Nicholas Church, past the old windmill tower, now following quite a muddy path towards the A370. And the West Mendip Way is 30 miles long. The western end is back where I started and the eastern end is in Wells. So now you can join the East Mendip Way, which runs for 20 miles into Froome. It's a good route to explore if you get the chance. I've done the West Mendip Way quite a few times now, normally in the summer. Well, I missed out last year because of lockdown and COVID and things. Today I'm aiming for about, I think, 12 miles in all. I'll be going up across Bleadon Hill towards Kristen, staying within North Somerset. Approaching the A370 now. Crossing over there, we climb up around Bleadon Hill, perhaps the most insignificant hill on the Mendip Hills, on the Mendip Way anyway. Up around there, then off towards Bleden. I think you can walk up to the top of Bleadon Hill up there, but the Mendip Way goes down this way. I'm slowly heading towards Bleedon Hill now, just beyond those houses. There's a Roman road at the top and the West Mendip Way follows that, but I'm going to avoid that boring bit, cross over, head through the golf course. Okay, here's the Roman road. I'm going to turn left quite soon, get off this. This is Bleedon Hill golf course, and in my experience it's probably the most welcoming golf course I've come across for walkers. The right of way, as you can see, it's very clearly defined and marked. You cannot go wrong or get lost, whereas most golf courses are less welcoming. Decent view down there of Weston-super-Mare, and the long hill you can see. I was walking there last weekend. That's Wilbury Hill. What's also interesting is that on Wilbury Hill golf course last weekend, I noticed a lot of dog walkers going all over the green. I guess because golfing is not allowed right now, they take it on themselves to say, oh, we can walk anywhere, but I'm not sure that's really allowed. So far this morning here on Bleedon Hill, there's no one else about. It's quite nice. It's suddenly very windy and cold up here, but I'm heading towards the trees for a bit of shelter soon, and I might try and stop for a cup of tea in there. I came here back in July for an evening walk, and I made use of this piece of equipment for my cup of tea. I'll do it again today. There's no stove with me. I'm keeping it simple, having the flask. I want to give a shout out today to a girl called Sarah. Her channel is Fit for Adventure. I'll put links below. She's got about 2,000 followers. You might know her already. But last night I watched her latest video, the 54-kilometre hike from Wales along the coast path and back around again. She makes videos when she can, so it's not very often, and when she does them, I think they're excellent. And her humour is brilliant. And she's done a couple of really good lockdown walks recently, along with yesterday's video that I saw, and before that was the Cardiff Three Peaks, which is a route she devised herself. But yeah, go and check her out if you haven't seen her already. A really good channel in the making there. At the end of this path we come out onto Canada Coombe, and we follow that road uphill to rejoin the West Mendip Way on the eastern end of the Roman Road and Bleedon Hill. I'm now going to leave the Mendip Way and turn left, heading round towards Kristen plantation. I walked along here back in July on that evening walk, and to be honest it was no different today. Very oh dear, it's very deep, quite wet and muddy underfoot. Today's a little bit worse. I might even evacuate this path and go onto the bank, as others have done before me by the looks of it. Yeah, let's do this. That's worse than I expected. There's also a path around this one, which I'll try. Yeah. Ahead of me now is Banwell Hill, and to its western end near the farm I believe you've got some show caves you can enter. I'm coming towards the halfway point of my walk. Here is the M5 motorway on a Sunday morning in lockdown. I'm not crossing over it, otherwise that means going into Somerset. I'm keen to stay in my county in North Somerset. South of here you have Wavering Down and Crook Peak, hills I can't get to right now. I believe I'm now roughly halfway around. It's only about 11:15, so far too early for lunch for me. Perhaps in about 2 hours time. We'll see where I am. I've been up here once before, that was again last July on that evening walk. I noticed several large stones along the way like this. I don't know if they're standing stones or boundary stones. I've no idea of local history here. The land looks a bit fortified to me, a bit cultivated by man. There's a really good view of Crook Peak from here, and I can see people on top of it. Mendip Way continues along that ridgeline towards Wells. I am now climbing slowly uphill again, and after this I go steeply downhill again, so it's one of those days. Heading up from Kristen up towards Bleedon Hill again, and then dropping down, making my way back towards uphill. I've seen very few people so far. The occasional walker, 2 horses, horse riders, 1 or 2 runners. Compared to some areas, it's been quite a quiet walk. And we briefly rejoined the West Mendip Way for a few minutes. So that path goes down towards Loxton. I'm leaving it again here and going on past Bleden. Quite a dramatic view here looking towards Brent Knoll in Somerset. I'm now following what is effectively a private road, giving access to 2 very large houses with big entrance gates, effectively modern day castles. In these hilly areas around Bleden, there are some quite affluent homeowners, I would say, and walking that Roman road I mentioned earlier along Bleedon Hill, I find it's a bit like a walk of shame, because some of the houses there are just unthinkably big. I mean, you or I could never afford them, I'm sure. And how you get that kind of money, it's just beyond me. And then why? Why do you need a house that's so big and so grand? This land I'm walking on is known as Shiplake Slate, and to be frank with you, I forget what that means and its significance. I'm heading down towards Shiplake Road. I'm going to cross that, head through the farm there, and then past the south edge of Bleden, crossing the River Axe, then the A370, and gradually back towards uphill via Bleedon Levels Nature Reserve. And beyond this orchard or vineyard is Bleedon Hill. River Axe. Next is the A370. There's an old looking sluice gate at the end of this walk, end of this sort of path here by the road. Well, the road sounds a bit busier than this morning. And over there's the old sluice gate, controlling the flow and levels of the River Axe. I believe that legally here, the public right of way runs through the corner of this caravan park, but I'm going to try, because the park is closed, I'm going to try and go alongside the river as far as I can. It looks far more pleasant. So I'm now following a very boring but dry bridleway which rejoins the Bleadon Way fairly soon. And the Bleadon Way is a cycle path that opened up a few years ago. It links the beach of Bleden with the seafront of Weston. I think it's about 6 miles long. It's not huge. The amount of litter on some of these parts around here is just, it's disgusting. There's always the same offenders. It's your takeaway food and your energy drinks and sugary drinks. And the same old crap that almost backing uphill now. I can quite clearly see St Nicholas Church on the hill and the old windmill tower to the right of that. I think next week I'll just do a doorstep walk from my own doorstep. No driving involved. But thank you for watching the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you again quite soon. And take care. Stay active and stay safe. Just ahead of here, where the River Axe meets the Severn Estuary, there's a right of way that appears to cross the river. But I can assure you that when you get there, there is no safe way to cross through the mud. It's impassable. It's a great shame though, because otherwise you can get to Bleadon down quite easily from Uphill Beach. I think historically there was a ferry back in the 70s that would operate a way of passing over, but currently there's nothing in place because you can't have a bridge there as the yachts need to pass through when the weather's right and the tide's in. I'm not sure what will happen eventually, but I like to think that with the England Coast Path project still going ahead, we'll see an improvement somehow.